Well, last block we were talking about SPACs, as we have now for many, many months, for good reason. They are a focus of this market, certainly a focus of the capital markets, and they have been enormously profitable for many of the investment banks, for many traders and investors out there. But much has changed over the last couple of weeks. Let's take a look and just sort of, first, let's start, as we do every time this week, how many issues we had. SPAC Analytics. I call them SPACalytics. There it is. 39. That's according to them. 39 SPAC IPOs raised $11 billion. I mean, if you were to go at this rate all year, you'd have 2,028 SPAC IPOs annually. But you're probably not going to. But again, the numbers are enormous, and they keep coming. We got, by the way, 12 SPAC IPOs pricing last night. That's despite what has been this meltdown. Remember, of course, if you trade below 10, you're still going to get your 10. I mean, the money's in trust, right? So the cash is in trust. And then if they don't do a deal, or if they can't get a deal passed after 2 years, typically, although, again, it varies deal to deal, but usually 2 years, you get your money back. At least you get your $10 back. But as Jim was saying, Carl's talking about, we've watched some of these names go below 10. We can take a look at our indexes that we put together, of course, the post-deal, the pre-deal and the after-announced deal, but there's the CNBC SPAC 50. That puts it in some perspective for you. We got the other one as well. And then I want to get to just some of the names overall. There's when they've announced the deal but haven't de-SPAC, right? Mm-hmm. But then we got the families. We got the 5 families of SPACs. Families. You got Chamath, you got Michael Klein at Churchill, you got Gores, Foley, and Betsy Cohen. I went with 5 families. There's some of the names. There's Chamath, okay? So Virgin Galactic been very strong. He sold, $250 million worth of stock last night? Yeah. Open Door has been quite good. There's Clover, not good at all. Those have all de-SPACed. Then you've got the other 2, still well above 10, at least, to take a quick look. Let's move on to Michael Klein and his various SPACs. The Churchill SPACs, right? There they are. Not as good. Multiplan has been disastrous. That, of course, is de-SPACed quite some time ago. There's CCIV hanging in there, still quite a gain. The Lucid deal is the one they've announced. There's 2 that haven't been announced yet, but have been issued, both trading a bit above 10. Gores we can take a look at, and then Foley. If we have them all, let's roll through them quickly, just to get a sense as to some of the big the families here, right? That gives, look at that. Wow, 885, 1015, and then Foley Transamine. You get the point, guys. Other than a handful, and Transamine 2, that was PaySafe, I think, right? Yeah, that was PaySafe, BFT. That's still been doing well. And then Betsy Cohen also. A lot of stuff trading, Jim, near 10. Yeah. And it will be interesting. Some even falling below that. I've got a smart windows company, CFII, guys, $9. And they want to get their deal done. Do you vote yes for the deal, but then redeem because you can get your $10, even though you voted in favor of the deal? There's going to be some interesting things going on here as we watch these things pass below the $10 in trust value and see what they choose to do.
Yeah, and I think that, David, one of the things that we have to point out is you take something like Lucid, which is Churchill 4.
Yes,
we can look at the price and we can say, wow, okay, you're okay. But how about the people who paid $50 because they heard the rumor that it was going to be with Lucid? I mean, look at the money that was lost if you came in thinking that this was going to be the big win. And that's where I think the pain has really been clustered.
Without a doubt. There was so much speculation in the name. We talked about it, and, man, it got nasty out there. And when they announced the deal, it was when it was the time to sell because we learned there would be 1.6 billion shares outstanding. Enormous deal, big pipe, great names. You can argue perhaps the car is going to be a great success. We've listened to Rawlinson talk about the efficiency of the battery, but it went from 60 to now 24 when we learned. And by the way, it's still got a market value where's Ford? I mean, we're still talking $38 billion market value for this company.
Well, then, David, why shouldn't there be 2,000? I mean, what's keeping it so that there aren't 20 every day?
That's the thing. The thing is, the money goes into trust, right? So conceivably after a couple of years, you may get it back. Or, as I said, now they have also cash minimum levels. Again, it varies deal to deal, but you can actually vote in favor of a deal, but they'll still try to redeem. Then the pipe comes in to fill that in. You can get your $10 back if it's trading below that. So there's an arbitrage there. There's a lot of different things. We're still learning. This is still a relatively new, it's been around for a long time, but somewhat new product.
All right, so Clover Health, which has been the subject of a brutal short report.
Yes.
You own that. Why not buy it at 7?
Now listen, I put it up there because it's de-SPAC. It's its own public company.
I'm sorry, it's de-SPAC.
Right, but it still has some of the same shareholders.
Right.
So, yeah, that's de-SPAC, Jim, as has MultiPlan. Right, that's just a company.
Right.
And we're going to have an awful lot of them, Carl, an awful lot of these companies out there that we may follow, that we're excited about sometimes. I mean, EV and battery technology.
Did you see the EV index? The EV index that
Smart Windows.
I mean, there are not a lot of them doing that well.
No.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
There's 17 charging station companies.
Is that all? Just 17?
All right, let me say 23.
Okay, good.
Wait a second. There's one called Tuscan Holdings. I mean, maybe that's like do you think that's like Venice? No.
Under the Tuscan sun.
Lawrence.
I'd like to be under that sun.
It's under the Tuscan Sun Holdings. I'm making fun of that. I love Tuscan. Reddit bets, Tuscan. You're fabulous. I actually own a farm, okay, in Tuscany. So I like Tuscan.
It's true. It's
and
true.
Churchill
guys.
Churchill was amazing. David denigrated Churchill after he killed Lucid. I am for Churchill.
I don't think we need to be this defensive, but okay, we got that.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.